Hi, and welcome back to another edition of Seahawks Central News, your source for campus news. I'm Kara Trotter.
And I'm Yan Wang. We're here each week to let you know about the latest news and events that affect UNCW students.
Seahawks Central News starts right now. Received a back and neck injury at Beach Blast last week. According to John Capel of Student Affairs, an unnamed student had to be treated by EMS at the beach for an injury received while playing in the water. The student, whose family wishes to keep his name anonymous, has already been treated and is back in classes. Besides a few dehydration cases, Capel said that this was the only serious incident that took place amidst the 4,000 plus students who were at Beach Blast. Alcohol was not believed to be a factor in the injury.
The Involvement Carnival took place on UNCW campus this past week. According to the Assistant Director of Campus Activities, Larissa LaCour, this was the largest involvement carnival our campus has ever seen. With 280 participants setting up stations along Chancellor's Walk, LaCour estimates that over 4,000 students walked through the carnival. The carnival is an annual event that not only aims to show students about activities on campus, but in the local community as well. Just under half of the participants in the carnival were from local businesses, religious organizations, or agencies.
Earlier this week, the student body president gave his State of the SGA address. Matt Victory's speech was met with applause from fellow students and faculty. Victory discussed ways in which to improve UNCW's Safe Ride program, as well as his desire to see a football team at Wilmington in the future. Chancellor Rosemary DiPaolo was on hand to give the president and Senate members words of encouragement and to thank them for being the voice of the student body. Throughout his speech, Victory emphasized the importance of listening to fellow students to ensure the student government is doing everything possible for the student body. The SGA's website has all contact information for students to get in touch with their representatives. Open meetings also take place every Tuesday at 7:30 in the Azalea Coast Room of the Student Fisher Center.
In addition to the president giving his State of the Union address, the SGA vice president also made an announcement. Jenna Rooney, elected to office last spring, announced her resignation as SGA vice president. Executive members of the SGA are required to have a cumulative and current grade point average of at least 2.5. Rooney's resignation came as a result of her failure to meet this requirement over the most recent spring semester. As a last act before resigning, Rooney appointed Sammy Pisano to the position of president pro tempore. The appointment of Pisano to this position made him the rightful successor to the vice president position. Now let's get on over to Sarah Lively for our weekend weather report. Sarah?
Good evening, Seahawks, and welcome back to Wilmington. I'm Sarah Lively, and I'll be your weather girl this year. Temperatures to start out the new school year have been high, but this weekend may bring slightly cooler air. On Friday, the high should be 87 with a low of 66 and a slight chance of afternoon thunderstorms. On Saturday, however, you can expect nice beach weather with a high of 87 and low of 66. Sunday's conditions will remain the same. For those of you who will be traveling this weekend, Charlotte will feature highs in the mid-80s and lows in the mid-60s with mostly sunny skies. Greenville will also have lows in the mid-60s and highs in the mid-80s. Raleigh will be comfortable with high temperatures in the mid-80s and lows in the mid to upper 60s. Also, there will be pleasant with partly cloudy skies. It will be an all-around great weekend for travel in North Carolina. But everyone living along the coast should also monitor the progress of Hurricane Danielle this weekend, which is expected to reach Category 2 strength by Saturday morning with 100-mile-per-hour winds. At this time, it looks like she will remain well off the East Coast. However, this forecast can change. Please be listening for updates on this developing storm and potential changing weather conditions in the next few days. Could we even get a few days off from class? Who knows? Beachgoers should be alert for rip currents and strong undertow due to Hurricane Danielle stirring up ocean waters well offshore. Small craft should also exercise caution with choppy waters and slightly higher waves than normally expected. Be on the lookout for the tropical forecast. That about wraps it up this weekend for the weather report. Yan and Kara, back to you.
Thanks, Sarah. Looking forward to a great year of weather from you. Over the past 2 weeks, UNCW has been recognized with several high-ranking honors as well. According to UNCW Media Relations, our campus received recognition from both Forbes and US News. Forbes ranked UNCW as 17th on their list of best by universities in the nation. Wilmington ranked second on the list among North Carolina system schools and could be found ranked higher than universities like Georgia, Virginia, and the College of Charleston. Additionally, US News ranked UNC Wilmington in their top 10 public master's universities in the South for the 13th year in a row. Wilmington was placed at 5th on the list, the highest spot ever earned by the university.
This past week, the UNCW Library had a ribbon-cutting ceremony to unveil the new Learning Commons. According to a survey conducted by Randall Library in 2008, graduate students ranked the library space that inspires study and learning below their minimum expected level. Additionally, both undergrads and grad students ranked the library space for group learning and group study in the lowest 5 in adequacy. 83% of the comments left in relation to this category were negative. The students spoke and the library listened. The new Learning Commons offers almost 11,000 square feet of new study space, including 91 computers, over 300 electrical outlets, and increased collaborative workspace. The Commons can be found along the front right side of Randall Library on the first floor.
You know, Kara, the new Learning Commons makes the idea of studying in the library almost fun.
I don't know, Yan. I wouldn't go that far.
Well, let's kick it over to someone who truly loves to study. Sports, that is. Ben Tyson kicks off our first sports report of the new school year. Take it away, Ben.
Good evening. I'm Ben Tyson with a lot of summer sports updates to catch you up on. 4 UNCW basketball players will not be returning for the 2010-2011 season. Backup forward Will Ohuargebe transferred to the Chipola Indians after averaging 4 points and 4.8 rebounds in 17 minutes per game as a freshman last year. 6'7" forward Dominic Lacey also left the program due to poor grades after an inconsistent junior season. And this past week, the Star News reports that 6'5" wing Jeremy Basnight has been declared academically ineligible for the first semester, though he can still practice and work out with the team, and if his grades are on track, Basnight will return for the spring semester. None of these losses, however, compared to that of John Fields. In his first year since transferring from East Carolina, Fields exploded on the UNCW basketball scene, averaging 10.2 points, a team-leading 8.7 rebounds, as well as a single-season record 59 blocked shots in 24 minutes per game. Fields graduated after the first summer session and is transferring to Tennessee in the fall. Perhaps lost in the shuffle of all the goings-on in men's basketball are the changes for the women's team. Most notably, new head coach Cynthia Cooper-Dyke takes over after 5 seasons and 2 NCAA tournament appearances at Prairie View A&M University. Cooper-Dyke won 2 NCAA titles as a player at Southern California in the 80s, as well as a gold medal in the Seoul Olympics in 1988. Her impressive resume also includes 4 consecutive WNBA championships and Finals MVP awards, as well as 2 regular season MVPs with the Houston Comets. This culminated in her being inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame on August 13th of this year. Coach Cooper-Dyke and her players, as well as Seahawks stars of every sport, were on hand for the 2nd annual Seahawk Fan Fest, a relatively new but very popular event hosted by the school, an appreciation for all the students and fans across the Wilmington community, and in anticipation of the soccer season. Maybe you'll recognize our reporter who covered Fan Fest for us this year. I'm out here at the 2nd annual Seahawk Fan Fest, where, as you can see, friends, fans, and family of the UNCW community have come out in full force to support the kickoff of the 2010 athletics season, starting tonight with an exhibition match against the UNC Tar Heels. Student athletes, coaches, and faculty from all areas of the athletics department came out to celebrate Seahawk fans. Inflatable castles, slides, cotton candy, hot dogs, and music from 3 local radio stations truly made for a festive atmosphere in anticipation of the soccer season. Coach Buzz Peterson shared his thoughts on the UNCW community.
It's just not talking about our team, it's just building relationships. I want to bring my family here, I want to leave my family here and be part of the community. And hey, you're a coach at UNCW, also you're a resident of Wilmington area. And so I think it's good to get to know people.
When prompted on whether he was rooting for his alma mater, UNC, he smartly chose the Seahawks, adding,
I am. That's where my paycheck comes from.
I'm Ben Tyson for Seahawks Central Sports, Teal TV. It was me. Unfortunately, the Tar Heels snuck by in the 89th minute and beat the Seahawks 1-0. The defending CAA champions play another exhibition match in Alabama against UAB on Saturday and kick off the 2010 season at the Binghamton Bearcats on Friday, September the 3rd. The women didn't have a hot start to their season either, struggling in a 4-0 loss to Wake Forest and a 2-0 drubbing against the Elon Phoenix. The ladies' team next game is Friday, September 3rd here on campus against Coastal Carolina. That wraps it up at the sports desk. Stay tuned for more news and highlights on Seahawks Sports Central next. Yan and Kara, back to you.
Thanks, Ben. Well, we already showed you the newly unveiled Learning Commons, but a new park to campus was unveiled this past week as well.
That's right, Kara. The brand new nursing building opened its doors briefly this past week to give media tours, and we got a sneak peek.
I got a chance to get a tour of the new facility, so I brought a camera along with me to give you an exclusive look at our campus's newest building.
For some, Wednesday, August 18th marked the start of the fall 2010 semester. But for nursing students, faculty, and staff, it marked the opening of the new School of Nursing. They experienced quite an upgrade from the 1,000 square foot Friday Annex where classes were once held.
Friday Annex, which is basically, it's a nice building, but it's not a building, it's basically almost like a trailer looking. And the only thing that housed was our faculty, a 25-bed lab with computer lab, and then a very small simulation area of 8 beds. The students were dispersed throughout the campus for their educational programs.
The new 75,000 square foot facility houses a 10,000 square foot simulation learning center, as well as teaching space, specialty rooms, smart classrooms, and distance learning classrooms. The Simulation Learning Center contains 8 hospital-style patient care units that provide hands-on learning.
I just don't want the students who are starting this semester to take it for granted, because this building is huge and it's awesome, and we have so much more hands-on experience, and it's more real life.
Some examples include maternal infant labs, operating rooms and ER rooms, pediatric labs, and many others.
There's really a demand, particularly in Wilmington, for clinical sites. And so we compete for those sites, for example, in New Hanover. But if you may go to New Hanover for a clinical rotation, we'll say in obstetrics, you may not see a delivery. So in this building, the simulation will allow our students to experience many clinical scenarios they may never encounter in a clinical setting, such as myocardial infarctions, diabetic coma, seizures, deliveries. It also allows them to practice skills on a simulation and to see where their strengths and weaknesses are and how to administer medications appropriately. So it enhances our ability to produce students that are well educated and that will become safe practitioners.
The building is also equipped with a 200-seat lecture hall. The School of Nursing has 390 students enrolled in various programs, along with 31 full-time faculty members. With an expected nursing shortage in the coming years because of aging baby boomers, the outlook for UNCW nursing students is bright.
Nursing just seems to be a great career to enter, especially in the healthcare field. You always feel like you can find a job.
The UNCW nursing faculty are doing their best to educate and train students to become competent in all their healthcare endeavors.
Boy, the mannequin with moving eyes was kind of creepy.
Just imagine seeing it live. Well, that wraps it up for this edition of Seahawks Central News. Make sure to stay tuned for the premiere of Till TV's newest show, Seahawks Central Sports.
A special thanks to UNCW Television and the Communication Department for making our show a possibility. Be sure to tune in to our show again next Thursday night at 8, Channel 5 off campus, Channel 77 on. Until then, I'm Yan Wang.
And I'm Kara Trotter, saying so long from the Seahawks Central News team.
Okay.